Welcome back here to a Friday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show. Stick around. Our friends from Iverstein's are going to be over here. Josh will be here cooking it up for us at 8:45. We'll start to talk tailgating. This football season is right around the corner. We were out at high school fields yesterday. Obviously, there'll be jamborees tonight. Hopefully, the rain. Was it raining all day? Is it raining all day?
I'd imagine so. Is it Friday?
Sweet. Why not? But we will talk to Greg Brooks coming up here. Greg's going to be here at 8:30. But Shay Dixon is now in studio with us. We missed our regular Wednesday segment with our guy who's in between jobs right now. Big announcement coming?
Yeah.
Can we tease something?
And not Zalon's Zalon's Herd's coming. But same day.
To LSU?
Big announcement.
Yes.
Big announcement.
Big
You're
announcement.
sharing a commitment day?
I'm done.
Both
Not
Shay
working.
Dixon and Zalance Herd will be making their announcements on September 1st. Who are you most anticipating? Put it on the poll.
Yeah. What's the
Southern
hats on the table?
Southern Eyes Center poll question of the day. Who are you most exciting about September 1st announcement? Shay Dixon or Zalance Herd? As you heard it here first. Shay will have a couple of hats on the table. I'm sure this recruiting period has been very intense for you, Shay. Are you in a dead period too right now? Have you made your choice? As the friends and family, do they know where you're going?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah. I'm in that stage where all the crystal balls are sitting sitting in the right spot. I think my moment's going to be spoiled.
Phone still ringing?
Phone's still ringing.
Phone's still ringing. They're not giving up.
Nobody. Not until the end.
A lot of
tampering.
Yeah. You saying a lot of I'm going to pray about it.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to get the post Shay wrap up after we make the announcement on September 1st. So just a little time left for our guy, the independent, in between jobs here, who's been so kind to us over here during this time period. All right, Shay, so they're going into the season, man. They've done some really good work, LSU has, as far as recruiting has gone. Zalance Herd, let's start there. It feels like he's going to be the next big announcement in the state. Where is he trending with that announcement just less than a week away?
I mean, pretty much every crystal ball type pick that you look at is sitting on LSU. And I've said all summer that if I had a pick in, it would be on the Tigers. Let's see what he is right now. He's ranked, at least it's the highest that he's ranked with any of the four major recruiting services that are ranking these guys, is on 3 as him as the number 2 player in the state behind Arch Manning. So that's the kind of dude you're talking about here, potentially getting in number 3 offensive tackle in the country. I'm telling you, this between what Brad Davis was able to do to hold together what they had gotten last class, right? When they got Will Campbell, who's a starter, Emory Jones, who's being mentioned as a potential starter at some point this year, if he continues to develop and they need him and call upon him, he's in that mix. Fitzgerald West, a backup center, and then Bo Borderline has come in looking completely different than he did in high school, and he's an offensive tackle. So you had 4 guys there, but they've built on that with a really nice run. We saw them get Paul Mabenga out of Georgia, but Zalance Herd is big time. Tyree Adams is the number 5 player in the state.
Coach,
and
how impressive.
The number 10 offensive tackle in the country. I'm telling you, people aren't talking about Tyree Adams enough.
I mean,
you get Tyree Adams and Herd, you're 1-2 punch at offensive just by the rankings definition alone, you'd have the number 3 and number 10 offensive tackles in the country.
Wow. I mean, I had no idea that Tyree Adams
that dude
was that big and that dominant after watching his highlights last Friday night. I mean, he looks like a pro left tackle.
Were you bundled up by the fire, watch some huddle?
Yeah,
huddled up. Another one of those film sessions.
Yeah,
huddled up.
Some sort of fire.
I'm in the recruiting game.
That's cool.
Bro.
So you liked him. He's a beast. I'm telling
you. I
you.
just didn't know he was that big. I didn't know he was that physical.
Georgia, Bama, all these other teams were trying to get a foot in the door and trying to swing that one their way. I mean, that was a big pickup for LSU. And Herd would be too. Never hurts to get into Neville and St. Aug, does it?
Wow. I mean, Neville's offensive line. And then Will Campbell's younger brother is the starting center. He looks like a killer too, bro.
I'm going to imagine he's out there on the farm as well.
The full paint.
And you got to think, with Will gone, this dude's doing double duty at home on the farm, moving hay.
Imagine Will being your older brother and Bull's your dad. Like, I don't think I'm going to be – Mama ain't raised no bitch. He's going to be tough as nails.
I saw Will, the younger brother, like the starting center at Neville, like tweeted out a picture of him petting petting the family dog or something. And Will like quote tweeted it, said, "Who told you could touch the dog?"
That boy don't know how to take care of no dogs.
Still policing him from like Baton Rouge, this poor kid.
We only pet the dogs for 30 seconds here. Don't show any affection.
One of my favorite photos, I don't know how we would even find it. It might have been some Instagram post or something. But last year during the season, obviously Will Campbell's on the team. Zalance Hurd is on the team, and they're your bookend tackles, right? And A.J. Allen was the running back. He went to Nebraska. I think he had been committed to TCU. I think he ended up at Nebraska. But he was running for he's really talented, but running for 300 yards a game because those two are out there. Well, it was like the LSU bomb squad days. The O-line, the Neville O-line had posted like a real hard up jail group photo. Like everyone was just not smiling, and it's like three me's. And then those two dudes, Will and Zalance are just standing there like this, and the three me's are yeah, right.
I'm with the big guns.
Bob Squad.
It's like all these dudes are for real 5'10", and then you've got these two. You're like, oh, those guys are going to college for sure.
Oh, that's the D1 guys.
I mean, to think about what LSU's offensive line potentially could look like in 2 years.
I mean, you're thinking right now, Will Campbell
Lord.
and Emory Jones could be
sure.
pieces that you're using for 3 years.
And I mean, I've heard really good stuff about Fitzgerald West.
They need a center, and he's kind of the guy who converted to become a true center. So if he develops, like I said, borderline, and then you're bringing in this group, and if you add Hurd, that's huge. If you add more, that's even better. We know that they've been trending with other guys. So yeah, kudos to Brad Davis, and I think with Brian Kelly at the helm, Brad Davis, your O-line worries, at least in terms of getting guys in there, is handled. And then you would hope that the development side is taken care of, given, look, Brad Davis has been around the game a long time. He knows how to develop offensive linemen. Kelly's got a proven track record of it as a head coach with offensive linemen. If I'm an LSU fan, that's one position I'm thrilled about what it means for the future in this new regime.
If they get Hurd, would that close the book on this class?
No, DJ Chester is out there out of Georgia. There's TJ Shanahan still being mentioned as a guy. Kind of them and A&M have been battling. So there are others, and the evaluation process is ongoing. But if you got Hurd, that's 3. You'd want more. You want 4 or 5. So there'll be a couple more.
Will Joseph asks, #AskShay, thoughts on Ethan Fields of Dutchtown, an offensive lineman if LSU's looking?
That's one I would say that is like a senior year eval. You check him out, see how he looks. I'm pretty sure is he committed to Purdue right now? Purdue. So he committed to Purdue kind of at the end of the summer. So he'd be one that I would say people are, not just LSU, but other schools are monitoring to see, okay, if this kid looks the part, you make a move on him.
So LSU's got a top 5 class going into the season, 5 or 6.
5.
How do you like their spot? How do you like the ranking? Where are they in recruiting right now from just the timeline aspect of this?
Yeah, love it. I mean, again, on July 1st, they were ranked 50th, and they had 4 commits. And it was kind of many were pressing the panic button, or at least saying, hey, look, this has got to change. You can't stay on this course. And boom, boom, boom. I think at this point they averaged between July 1st and now, it's like a commit every probably 4 days, 5 days. And high-level guys, and both in Louisiana and popping some national guys that are really good. And I've talked to people outside of LSU over in different camps, Georgia, Bama, wherever it might be, and they're saying LSU's putting together a nice little class over there, year one picking right up. And I think the product on the field, I've always said is, kids don't care if you're undefeated or you lost 2 or 3 games. In high school, you lose games. You're not going into a situation where you're like, oh, they lost this weekend, I'm out. So struggles this year, or at least, if you go 8-4 or whatever it might be, recruiting momentum will continue to pick up. That won't deter it. So unless they fall apart on the field, I don't see a path where they don't stay in the top 5 because they've got guys they continue to knock down dominoes with.
One of the questions that everybody asks in recruiting is rankings. how these things work. And Reed DeSalvo asks, #AskShay. Shay, how does Mason Taylor get overlooked by recruiting services? 3-star composite, family pedigree, played in a national power program, size, mobility. Why underrated?
I think, well, one thing you have to remember, too, is with, like, these rankings, when, like, a high 3-star is considered, like, if you look at the definition, is considered like a 2 to 3 year contributor at a college with NFL potential. So, like, that's not a knock. Like, it's not much different than being kind of a low 4-star type of guy. Let me look at what everybody had him ranked. Look, shout out, okay, 63 tight end, 28 tight end, 50 tight end. Rivals had him as the number 7 tight end in the country. Wow. So there were people out there that kind of took a lot of that into consideration with what he's mentioning and said, hey, look, we think this guy's the real deal. He played at a big-time high school. Obviously, I'm one who loves the bloodlines thing. Like, I think that does matter in a big way. And what bloodlines, right. and his mom, I mean, they've got, it's like the Jake Johnson, Max Johnson family tree. Right. It's like everybody's playing sports. Everybody's at a high level, and now you're there. I think right now we're probably in a little bit of that. I like Mason Taylor a lot. I don't know. He could end up a first-round draft pick. I have no idea. I think we're probably falling a little bit into he looks good out there. Yeah, because you don't have any tight ends on the team. There's nobody else out. Cole Taylor is a junior now. He's your only other scholarship player. So the need for him and him coming in and actually being ready, I think kind of makes people think, oh, damn, this is nice pickup. And I agree, because they had kind of hit a snake eyes moment there in the Gilbert, Jake Johnson, Jalen Sheed, who signed and stayed a day on campus and moved back home. Like, that wrecked them at tight end. So my man Nick Storrs comes out of retirement. Yeah, right. Mashburn and them are having to raise their level in another year of playing. But, I think getting Mason Taylor was big. And, again, kudos, Rivals with the 4-star and high ranking. And right now they seem to like him a lot.
Chili wants an update on Brevion Rogers.
I don't think there is anything new. Okay, so he's the big corner out of Texas that had decommitted from Texas A&M, and LSU, Bama were kind of the teams that people were talking about coming out of LaGrange. But heavy recruiting predictions onto LSU. I mean, it's sort of been surging since he decommitted. So he's one I'm watching that they're recruiting really hard. I wouldn't say that it's a given that he ends up at LSU, but in my mind, LSU's the team that's in front right now, and they don't have that top 5 corner, top 50 overall prospect, which is what LSU's very used to. They don't have that in the class right now, not rankings-wise. So Rogers would fill a huge, what I would consider to be an immediate need, considering they're on rent a cornerback right now from every college across the country. These guys are all 23. They're about to be done playing college ball. You got to find a way to restock that corner room in a hurry.
Captain Crown, #AskShay.
My man, Captain Crown.
Javion Taviano is visiting September 10th to LSU, along with 2024 number 1 edge rusher Colin Simmons. How do you like where LSU stands with both?
Yeah, Simmons is a guy I think LSU's trending on early, just because they've done a really good job of getting in there. The staff has been all over him. And again, coming out of the Lone Star State, I think it's tough to recruit those guys if you don't get in early and get a relationship with them and kind of sell the program. And he's made some trips already, so I know that was big news. But with Toviano, I could buy. It's like A&M, Texas, LSU. No, I don't think anybody thinks he's going to go to Michigan, but I could buy what, again, if you're the recruiting prediction machine, has LSU out front by a good little margin. And there was a time where it seemed like things had sort of cooled down a bit, and he keeps things very close to the chest. So, like, there's not a lot that he's going to tip off. He could be leaning one way, and you don't really even know it. But the dialogue he has with the current players and commits and kind of top targets involving LSU is about as good as you can ask for. I mean, if the #Toviano stuff is soon to begin for sure, because he's kind of one of those guys that they've really circled in Texas alongside Rogers as DBs they want. And you could look at the commit list. They have a ton of DBs committed, safety, corner, whatever it might be, but you just keep going. You're not telling the number 5 safety in the country we don't have room. You're not telling the number 5 corner in the country, we don't have room. You're doubling down and saying whenever you want in, you're in. And I think that's kind of where they're at with those guys. And I'll make another point, and a shout-out to Captain Crown, who's just been, for me, who's been out of the loop all summer. I kind of check different things, Tiger droppings, whatever it might be. My man grinds. Big fan of us on the show, big fan of the show. Asked this week when it was dropping. I told him Wednesday. That was a lie. So I'm here to apologize, but he's back.
I'm sure that went over well on Tiger dropping.
Hey, well, Crown's got my back. So
okay.
But yes, big
fight
fan
the good fight, Crown.
Big fan of the show, and he'll transcribe this whole interview right here and post it for the good people. So
sweet.
Yep.
Fuck the mouth breathers.
Shout out to Crown.
Transcribe that.
Shout out. He'll skip that part. Keep it PC, brother.
Wasn't aggressive.
He skips
That's
that part.
fine.
But yeah, no, they're
Right at the 7:56 mark.
those.
I'll pay the fine.
No. I'm saying for him to mark it timestamp it. I'm not going to be the fine police.
The Tovianos and the Rogers are the type of guys. If you want to stay in the top 5 or maybe move up some, if that's what kind of matters to you as a fan, you want to see them getting guys like Rogers and Toviano. And I'll make a side point here because you mentioned they're coming in for games. This new staff does want guys to official for games, to come in for games. And strategically, which I didn't disagree with before with Orgeron and even less, it was, we don't get to spend a lot of time with them, so come in for an unofficial, but save your official for when we've got a lot of time. I don't think this staff is going to say no to officials during the season, and then it becomes about having to make time or at least do the best you can. But I think Brian Kelly and them are all for, let's sell the atmosphere of Tiger Stadium. Les had been around forever. Orgeron knew it. I think these guys are kind of enamored by, well, we've never had that as a recruiting tool, so how can we use it? So I would expect a lot of guys in for games this year. More, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I think both ways are fine, but this staff is going to prioritize getting guys in for games. Official visitors.
And I think that Tiger Stadium is going to make a comeback this year because
heard it here first.
They're ranked outside of the top 25. I mean, this is usually
that's what makes it a little more fun to watch.
Right. I mean, kind of build that hunger. I mean, you kind of build, and for the first time in a long time, LSU they're the hunter. You know what I mean? They're kind of, they have the opportunity.
I mean, many years in a row, they would only play one game where they weren't favored.
Yeah. Right.
Might not be favored in many this year.
Right.
I mean, if Vegas thinks you're winning 7 games, that means you're about to not be favored in almost half of them. Makes it more fun to watch.
I agree. And I still think that you'll have people into the stands third and fourth quarter, of games. I think that was kind of a mentality that was built from being
I'll say
the
one
favorite.
thing. And I guess not COVID was a tough year, but 21 certainly. The students stepped it up.
Mm-hmm.
The students were staying till the end. We're packing it out. So shout out there. I don't know if that's like a balcony Bengals thing. Whoever's leading the charge there. But it's
just a student thing.
Just a student thing. They came out. So I would think if the students bring that again this year, that's something that should a hat tip to.
There's going to be so much intrigue around the games. Like you said, there's no expectation really. There is expectation, but if LSU loses, it doesn't feel like end of the world scenario. It's like, all right, let's see how you kind of will see the fan base grow with the team. It feels like it's the reset button almost.
When I was thinking of ranking, what games am I most excited to see this year? I think I've got the Southern game number 2 on my list. And how have they never played?
It's crazy.
I mean, that's cool for the city.
It's crazy.
And if they pep rally it up, or have the two kind of campuses blending together for whatever sort of pep rallies or events of the week.
That whole week is going to be.
And that's it's a Baton Rouge themed thing. I think that's cool. I mean, I'm for
stretching out for it right now.
I'm for it.
It's gonna be.
I cannot believe those teams have never played
just
before.
The tailgating, the entertainment, the just the
halftime
city.
show will be on fire.
The halftime show is really kind of what I'm most fired up about.
A lot of water.
Yeah. What have they announced the time of that game yet? I mean,
I think it's
obviously
at 6:30.
Yeah, you'd have to, I think it probably did night game.
Yeah, for sure. All right, make sure and hit that like button, share button, comment button. Anything you're watching as far as recruiting goes right now.
So we're jamboreed out this weekend,
Yeah.
still, and then getting closer to actual football season. But I will say, and we'll talk about it more on the show as we go through things, but this is a good year for people in the Baton Rouge area, certainly, to get out and see a game, see a future Tiger play, because you got Woodlawn, you got Catholic, you got Zachary, you got Liberty, Magnet with Caleb Jackson. A lot of these teams will play. U High has a ton of kids, and a lot of these teams play each other. So I'll do the homework for everybody. I'll find some must-see Friday night games this year for people to go out and see.
Well, and somebody was asking in the chat a couple of weeks ago that they were coming in on a Friday. They were coming in for a weekend, and they were asking like what they should do. And I asked if they were a sports fan, and I said that. Like, if you're into recruiting and you're coming in from out of town for a home LSU game, odds are there's a 4 or 5 star playing in the city.
100%.
I mean, whether it's Ricky Collins, Eli Holstein, Jaden Alsbury, Shelton Sampson, Caleb Jackson.
Kylan Jackson.
Kylan Jackson. I mean, it's just there are marquee players all over Baton Rouge and South Louisiana right now that, I mean, I'm telling you, that atmosphere before it kicked off last night, it didn't have a chance to kick off because of the weather.
Before it kicked off.
But I'm telling you,
Never
did you
kicked
see
off.
Madison Prep and Woodlawn like they were on the track, like squaring off at each other and kind of going back and forth? And I mean, talking about a jamboree, And by the way, I mean, Madison Prep's got a couple of dogs that walk out and lead them off the bus that you're like, who is that?
That's when the guys who were like, Coach, we getting rained out? Yeah, it looks like it. And then they're like, okay. And I'm a really buck up because I don't have to get out on the field and get run over. I'm going to say something right now. That just means football season's almost
here. Bro. It's here. I mean, week 0. They had football last night. Florida State and Duquesne.
Zachary and LCA play tonight. I think it's a jamboree, but it's a couple of big-time boys right there.
That's what I love about these programs, too, around Baton Rouge.
Oh, they don't play. They'll play everybody.
They're not scared of anybody.
Nah.
The LCA, too.
Woodlawn's roster. I mean, Woodlawn's schedule. Zachary's schedule. Catholic High schedule. I mean, all these teams go and play everybody. And they don't even play, like, in-state teams. They'll go play people nationally.
Yeah. I think St. Aug, they might be in like Oregon right now.
St. Aug's up in Oregon. Yeah.
Nike like kickoff classic, I would say.
Yeah. That's what they were asking Tyron Matthews about.
What was my prep school? The fake one.
Oh gosh. Bishop Gorman?
No,
it's
school.
Yeah, that.
No.
Shit.
Is it Saint something?
Don't make me get it before y'all do.
Scotlandville too is good. We ain't talking about Scotlandville. I mean,
Bishop Sycamore.
I got the Bishop get half credit, Coach.
Throw him on the schedule.
Bishop Sycamore.
Coach has a warrant.
They got on ESPN.
St. Aug? Oh, no. I know Bishop
Respect the
Sycamore,
grind.
yeah.
I respect it.
It gets IFG Academy.
Everybody's talking about Nicholas Harbor.
Golly.
Is there any update there?
No, because we talked about what the Tennessee game is what he's coming in for. No date set. I think he just said another official visit. I thought I had read that this past week.
LSU and somebody else.
I'll tell you that right
Michigan?
now. It may. Okay, he's got 2
Maryland?
more set.
Maryland, that
Maryland.
might be it.
No, he hadn't looked in Maryland yet, but I do think he'll go there because that's kind of like his home state team. South Carolina, September 17th. Michigan, September 23rd. LSU, October 7th. So you're already back in those teams, which is, it can be a good thing if you get kind of the final say at him. But we're talking about a guy coming out of D.C. who 6'5", 225, number 1 athlete in the country, 5-star. The kid
he is freaking, bro.
27-2 in the 200.
Kid who's running 10 threes and 27s. Freak.
Miles Garrett.
We're talking Clowney, Garrett levels of just.
Imagine you go out there for the 200 and you see him and you're like, oh, I'm about to beat this cat. Like, he's too big.
What if you break the huddle and you're a tackle and see him on the line of scrimmage? I mean,
now he wants to play offense because of his speed.
Sweep.
And he wants
Let
to
him
be able
do it.
to, yeah, that's,
why not?
Little
running
tight
on a
end.
jet sweep.
Little tight end, he says.
Yeah, he'd be a great tight end.
Let's see 10-2 in the open field.
Hand up.
Jesus, man.
Hit that down the seam.
All right, Shea D, I know you got to run, bro. You got big things on the horizon here. Huge announcement coming next week.
Here we go. For the scouting report, clicking through, the offensive comp for him would be a Darren Waller. So if he wants to be a tight end, you're a Darren Waller. If you want to be a D lineman, you're a Miles Garrett type.
Darren Waller just playing in Josh McDaniel's system now, who made Gronk in the tight end position revolutionary in the NFL.
Really
Waller's about to have a huge year, bro.
That's because, because they're.
And then they got Devontae Adams outside of him.
You're leaving it out. someone's got to guard Foster.
Foster
When
Moreau, bro.
when he
Somebody
ta-
better guard Hunter Renfro.
When Foster takes all that attention over there, Waller eats.
Yeah, that's right. Got to double team one of them.
I mean, you got to make a choice. Got to make a choice.
All right, Shay D, congratulations on the announcement and the decision that's already been made. We're going to try and make that decision live here, if you don't mind.
that requires moving no video equipment anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Sweet.
Do it right here.
Yeah.
You have internet?
Yeah, we got internet.
You got internet.
I can
Bring
do
the
that.
hats.
I could do that.
We're going to crystal ball
See,
it
like,
going in.
Herd has a time set. It's like at night, I'm sure. Me, no. I just wake up.
Are y'all ready?
I think
sure,
they're-
come on
I think
over.
They're going to call me. Are you working yet? What are you doing?
Is it your first day?
No, I
You
gotta
start
make my
tomorrow?
I'm setting up my announcement.
Can I call you back?
Yeah, I'm on the air.
Got to announce first. I got to sign the papers.
Do y'all want to carry this live? I can get you the link.
Can my parents come?
Oh, this guy's a diva.
Absolutely.
I'm going to cry and hug my mom for 30 minutes.
Yeah. And we'll keep it all. Do you have a highlight tape? We don't play those.
Yeah, can't play those.
Yeah, we can't play the film.
Yeah,
I don't have
videos
it.
out.
Could you imagine
Copyright.
if you put one out? You just on the sideline writing a pen, typing.
Shay.
Him taking pictures.
We should make a video.
We should make a video.
I think my iPhone's probably made a video of, you know, they make
Yeah.
the memories of you. It's just me doing random things.
And you have the lull and then the comeback. You
Yeah.
have you at home just like doing a little gardening, smoking a cig, like wasting the time, taking the dogs out.
I think I'm going.
Yeah, back in the game.
Undo the robe.
Yeah, he's naked. I'm staying retired.
I'm going OnlyFans.
Yeah. Ooh,
Feet finder.
Sheet finder.
I think I've worked for enough different companies that I can bring every hat out here.
All right, Shay, we'll see you at Superior at some point today, bro.
Okay, guys, I appreciate y'all having me on. Have fun. We got a little Greg Brooks.
Yeah,
Is that
Greg
it?
Brooks. Starting nickel, huh?
Real deal.
Yeah.
Be interested.
What do you think on the quarterback, real quick, before I get you out of here?
I think I 100% believe both are going to play, and I think Jaden probably starts. And here's where it is for me. He started 30-something games already. Like,
It's crazy.
Brian Kelly said it. I asked the question,
crazy.
how can you tell Jaden Daniels has started 30-something games? He said, well, when he gets in there, everybody's calm. He runs the huddle. He calls out all the defense. It's game one. Don't send Garrett out into the Superdome.
Absolutely.
Making him try to be a hero. Let Garrett get his licks in this year as well. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I
Gotcha.
would think it would be Jaden.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. All right, Shay, have a great day. Have a great weekend. Follow him on Twitter at Shay Dixon. We'll be back with more of the Jordy Culotta Show. As we are always driven and powered by Go Chevrolet, and daily today we're brought to you by Barker Brothers Plumbing and Works. Get in touch with Jude Barker and our friends over at Barker Brothers Plumbing and Works. Remember, no social media, no website. Call them at 225-776-2431. Mention the show, and they'll take 15% off. They are specialists in all works of plumbing, industrial, commercial, residential. They are number one in a number two business. 225-776-2431. Mention the Jordy Culotta Show. Save yourself 15%. We'll be back. Greg Brooks coming up here in 20 minutes as we roll on here on this Friday. Compliments of Go Chevrolet.